stop trying so hard and just relax and understand that God will put the right person in your life. All you have to do is just be patient. And he said the biggest thing you have to do as the person waiting is, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Kabongo from Elianda, and welcome back to another podcast episode. In this episode, I have two very special guests, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, boys.
My name's Ian.
Yes, sir.
KB's co-worker.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My name is Marcus. I'm one of KB's coworkers at beautiful Camp Chautauqua.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But yeah, guys, so in today's episode, we're going to be talking about something a little touchy-feely, you know what I mean?
That's something that nobody want to talk about these days.
A lot of people don't want to talk about this subject that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about relationships, correct?
Yes, sir.
We're going to be talking about relationships, not only from relationships in a marital perspective or boyfriend-girlfriend, but also relationships as friends as well. So let's just kick it off, guys. You know, before we start this episode, today's episode was sponsored by Elianda. So y'all make sure y'all go shop Elianda, man, at el1anda.store.
They got some good merch.
Got some good merch. Got that unreleased. We all got the shorts on right now, but we're not gonna stand up and show y'all.
Speaking of relationships,
Yes, sir.
Elianda is a great gift to get for your friend or your partner that you're in a relationship with.
Which one, brother? Jokes. But yes, so we're gonna just kick it right off by just starting off with a Bible verse, because as you guys know, we like to always tie all the conversations that we have on this podcast back to the Bible. So do you guys have a certain Bible verse that you guys want to use?
I do not, but y'all do.
Yes, sir. I actually have one myself, Let's see, because I was looking at a bunch of them, and there was one that did catch my eyes. Let me see.
Do you want to do this one, and then I'll do how you were talking about that one?
I'm gonna probably do a friendship one.
I like this one. So we can start off with relationships as far as like boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife, because I bet a lot of our viewers are actually young people or people that are thinking about getting into relationships, and with that they might have a bunch of questions. So let's start it off by just giving them straight sauce. So the verse that I'm going to be going from is from 1 Corinthians 13 verse 7, which says, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. So with that, what it's saying is love would be there through the thick and thin. And with me saying that, I'm saying that to just say, like, when you get married, the pastor asks you, like, will you be with this person, like the little marriage vows that they be saying,
like till death
do us part. And when it says that, it means like you're gonna be through this person through everything. You're gonna endure with them through everything. And that's one of the biggest things that relationships have to stand on, is first off the firm foundation. Like, I feel like we can all agree, like, the foundation for every single relationship as far as the opposite gender and sex has to be God, right?
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about that?
You have to keep God first. If you don't in a relationship, it's just gonna honestly just crumble to the ground faster than you think. And sometimes, like, speaking from experience, like, sometimes like you might be like, well, I might be able to get in this relationship and lead this person towards God, and like, but like that's a careful game you gotta play, because listen, like, somebody could pull you so far away from God, and like before you even know it, you're looking back and you're like, wow, like I got into this relationship thinking like it was the best and God sent it, but that's not always the case. So I would just say be careful and just make sure you're keeping God first no matter what, because if you keep God first, then the only thing that's gonna happen to your relationship is honestly blessings, I feel. But if you don't, then it's not going to end well, I don't think.
That's true.
I feel that.
What about you, Ian?
I feel like, since we all live in flesh, you know what I'm saying, we all got our desires. And if it's God who makes us alive and gives us the ability to deny ourselves, if we're not walking in that same power and spirit to deny ourselves, and we take God completely out of it, then honestly we're walking in the flesh, which we're walking in our desires, and we're feeding into them. So we're not just like, we can't, without God, deny ourselves. We're just going to feed right into it. So without God in a relationship, you're just going to be in a relationship that's not satisfying at all.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like it gets to a point to where you can feel that like unsatisfaction,
Yes.
and if you do like take away God from any relationship, especially like dating or married, like it's just gonna lead to bad things. Like you're gonna start to like have sex before marriage and like do things that like just God wouldn't appreciate. So
Yes.
and which can lead to like babies being born before like marriage and like
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like that,
facts.
or like diseases or just stuff like that that's like not like very like proficient and like something that like like just not godly, I guess I would say.
Lots of regrets.
Nah,
Regretful
yes.
actions.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my.
yes.
I
Nah, I definitely will agree with you guys on that. Like when you don't have God in the relationship, there is a whole lot of regretful actions, and you just catch yourself doing things that you wouldn't do if you had God in that relationship. Allowing the opposite person to break boundaries that they were never supposed to break, and allowing them to influence you to do the wrong thing. Like it's crazy. Like I've been in a couple of relationships myself where before I knew Christ, and I could just caught myself doing things that I never wanted to do and doing things that I wasn't supposed to do. And why is that? Just because God wasn't in the center of that relationship. And I know in 1 Corinthians 13 it says love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And in those past relationships, when God isn't at the center of them, I'm not gonna lie, it's real easy to cheat. It's real easy to manipulate the other person, just because it's kind of like we don't have an actual foundation where we actually trust and hold each other accountable for certain things. So why should I care about your feelings? And so that's one of the biggest things we want you guys to first off understand is God has to be the foundation of that relationship, or else it will crumble.
Yeah, also even going into like facts of like jealousy and anger. Like if you're not on that foundation of God, then if you see like if you're at like a church event or like just an event in general, it doesn't even got to be related to church, and you see like your girlfriend or your boyfriend or talking to some like other dude or girl, like if you're in like your worldly point, then like you're gonna think worldly and your first instinct is gonna get angry at them or get jealous for talking to somebody else, like which I mean that shouldn't be the way that it should go. And I just feel like that's like with the generation we're in right now, like I feel like that gets like heavily pushed, and especially like the controlling part, like I feel like so many people aren't in a good relationship with God, but then they're so pushed to hop into a relationship with another person that they're just spinning in the circle that's like never ending toxicity, if you get what I'm saying.
Nah.
I feel like what you were saying, KB, kind of trying to piggyback on that, impure thoughts. Like, you don't have to sit, like, just because you didn't make something noticeable doesn't mean, like, you didn't sin or you're not in a state where you're not at. Like, those lustful thoughts, like, you're committing adultery at heart, you know what I'm saying? So you might be able to escape other people's thoughts, but, you know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of like the verse where God says, he looks at the heart, man looks on the outward appearance. So it's a heart thing, you know? Like, God has to clean your heart. So definitely, like, if you're not ready for a relationship, 100% okay to admit that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and like that really comes with like spiritual maturity too. Like it's funny because my like me and Ian, two youth leaders, a couple years ago used to always be like, you guys are not spiritually mature for a relationship, and for the longest like I never understood what they meant by that, but like now I do. Like if I would have hopped into a relationship back then, like I was just not spiritually ready. Like the moment the girl would have been like, hey, let's go do this or let's go do that, like I probably would have been down because I just didn't have that good like relationship with God, and I was not putting God first, and I was more focused on the girls than I was God, and then that's where the issue became. And I mean honestly, like like you said, Ian, like it's true. Like if you're not ready for a relationship, just don't get in one. Like God has his timing, and he'll like if you desire a relationship and God will put you in one, just like let him do his timing. Like don't rush it, because if you're gonna rush into something that you don't want to be in, or you're gonna mess up like something that it's just gonna be unfortunate. Not saying that God can't fix it, but like it's just gonna kind of take you off the trail that God like had for you, because of your own worldly and fleshly desires. Yeah.
Nah, and it's true too. Like one of the biggest things that I've learned so far about relationships is the importance of patience. And it's something that, I've spoke about on this channel before, just lacking patience in the perspective of relationships, just because I know myself, and, maybe a lot of you guys can relate, or even you guys, it's just like wanting something quick, with all of us, with really all of us growing up, you're going to get to a point, and some of you guys at home watching this, you guys might be a bit younger and not understand this, but you guys are all going to get to a point where all your friends around you are going to start to get married and start to get in relationships, and that's going to put you at a place where you feel like, man, I need to rush the process and get in a relationship myself. And that's something that I've been catching myself getting into, just because like a lot of my close friends are starting to get married, starting to get engaged and stuff like that, and it's all like, man, God, where's mine at? Where's my opposite person? Like, where's my counterpart at? But, me and Marcus, I sent it to Marcus and Eain, this video that we found of this guy, which I'm actually going to tell you guys, shout out to the free promo. Hey, if this dude ever finds this channel, hey, shout out to him. Let me see. I sent it to Marcus and Eain. What's his name? I think his name is like something, Chris Yoon. I think that was his name.
Yeah, you probably could link it down below.
Yes, Chris Yoon. This is the dude's YouTube. Y'all go watch this video. Hopefully that focuses. If that doesn't focus, I will link it in the video. But yes, so one day it was after church, and we had gotten off of church, and I was just on YouTube just scrolling for a little bit, and his channel just popped up on my YouTube, and it said, the video was pretty much some along the lines of, watch this if you're thinking about getting in a relationship. And at first I was like, I don't want to watch this, so I just saved it to my watch later. And so I didn't watch it the video until probably like a week and a half later, where I was just in the print room just printing up some shirts, and then I was just like, I might as well listen to it. I'm bored, because I had caught myself in that week just thinking about just being in a relationship with certain people over and over. So I was like, might as well watch it, because this video just relates to everything I'm going through right now. And some of the biggest things that he spoke about in that video is just, first off, just being patient and waiting on God. He said, take your foot completely off the gas, like completely off the gas, like stop searching, stop looking, like just completely stop looking for a girlfriend, stop looking for a boyfriend, stop looking. He said, God has a perfect timing for everything, and he has a perfect timing for the person that he has for you. And he said, the person that God had for you, trust me, you will not have to try that hard to make it work. You will not have to go out there like a freaking thirsty baboon asking, let me get your number, let me get your Snapchat, let me get your Instagram. You won't have to do all these different things. God will put that person in your life, and it will happen naturally, to the point where you won't even have to try. And so he said, please stop trying so hard and just relax and understand that God will put the right person in your life. All you have to do is just be patient. And he said the biggest thing you have to do as the person waiting is keep your eyes focused on God. Because with your eyes focused on God, not only will it shine a certain light out of you that will make that opposite person attracted to you, because they're going to see that light in you, and they're going to be like, bro, I like that person. But not only that, you will start to see certain qualities in that person that you will admire. Because when you don't have God, like we said, when the foundation isn't God, you're just going to be looking at stuff like, man, her butt's big, or man, she has a great body. Like, her personality really sucks, but her body looks great, But when you have God in your life, you'll see certain qualities like, man, she's a very compassionate person. The way that she interacts and talks to people, I love that. She's a very giving person. Like, certain qualities like that, like her heart's for God, you see these qualities, and you will be attracted to those qualities other than that's just the materialistic. But Marcus, you also watched the video. What were your thoughts on some of the things that you learned?
Yeah, so I mean, I agree with him. Now, like that, and when he was saying like just take the foot completely off the gas pedal, that doesn't mean that you can't be friends with like girls or guys, because I feel like that could be taken in the wrong context, as in like, oh, well, I'm not even gonna talk to them no more. Like, that's not what he means. He just means like, don't apply so much pressure to where like, you're only applying pressure because you want to get with them. Like, be their friend, like talk to them like a normal person, like just like hang out as friends, and like if it is sent from God, then it will become a relationship. Like, you don't have to force a relationship out of something that God never meant to be nothing. He also said something that I really liked when he said, no man can shut the doors that God opens. And what he meant by that was like, if you see like the girl you think God has for you talking to another dude, like, don't get mad, don't get upset, because you know, if the other dude does end up getting that girl, then maybe that wasn't the girl that God had planned for you at all. And if it was, she's gonna eventually find her way back to you. As long as you guys both keep your eyes on God, like, God will, like, find somebody that is meant for you. And there's, I mean, there's no other and about it. He will just find somebody that's meant for you, and like, you guys will be together. I just feel like, I feel like personally, like, this generation, like, my generation is just so pushed to get into relationships that people are just like, and like, it's just so posted on social media, which, by the way, like, social media just isn't the way to go. Like,
it's not.
like, I'm off social media right now, and I encourage anybody to get off of it, because I know KB just got off of it, and I encourage everybody to get off of it, because it's really just like, it's just honestly like a pool of lust, in my opinion. Like, lusting for things like, such as like YouTubers having money, or like of women, like, just a bunch of different things of lust, which, I mean, it's not always like that. It can be helpful, but I just feel like most of the time it's not as helpful as it should be. But where I was going with that is like I feel like a lot of people in our generation will see like all these things like about relationships, relationships on social media, and they'll be like, oh, like, that couple looks cute, like, I want that, I want that. And then, like, if you keep looking for one, you're eventually gonna find it, but it's not gonna be the right one. So you want all these cute things, and to be able to go to the park and do this and do that, which I'm speaking from experience, because this happened to me. And then, like, you finally find that relationship, but then it's not what you wanted at all, because it wasn't sent from God, it was sent from your own desires. And and yeah, so I just feel like you should just be careful on that.
Yes.
I say something that I kind of got out of that was being okay with where you're at. You know what I'm saying? There's so much joy and just blessings and greatness in being single. You know what I'm saying? If you're not okay with being single, and you're like, I need a boyfriend or girlfriend, you're just gonna end up breaking hearts, just wasting time and all this stuff, when you could just be enjoying your time on where you're at. There's, like, you have the most time with God, and you have the most time by yourself when you're not in a relationship. You don't gotta force nothing. Just like KB was saying, like, keep them eyes on God, pursue Him, and then you won't have to force nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you also just gotta be okay with being single. Like, if you're not, it's a patience game, man. If you're not okay with being single, then you're gonna get into many relationships that you just shouldn't be in. Just filling in blank spots that only God can fill.
Be single, be happy, and run as fast as you can towards God. God will send somebody that will run just right next to you and catch up to you, and then that's when you say, like, that's when, like, you know, it was sent by God. Also, I saw this one pastor. I was watching the sermon the other day, Pastor Michael Todd, and he was on a treadmill during the sermon, actually, and he was saying, like, as he was walking on the treadmill, he's like, think of this as like God's treadmill. Like, I can't speed up the treadmill. No matter how fast I'm running, I can't speed up the treadmill, because it's going that certain pace. And I like to think of that like God's timing. Like, we're on it. We're all on different treadmills right now, and you can't speed up that treadmill. You can't speed up God's process. So you just gotta have patience and just walk your treadmill. Like, walk your treadmill. Just, you know, search for God. Keep running towards God. Just keep your eyes on God, and like, God will provide. There's a song that I've been listening to. It's like called "God Will Provide." And my first time hearing it, I was like, wow. Like, my first time hearing it was a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wow, that's like one of the truest songs I've ever heard. Because people have this tendency where like they just assume like if they can speed up God's process, but you can't. And honestly, like, I had to learn the hard way. Like, patience is the best key to getting the best things from God, because if you're patient, like, God will provide, and it will be better than what you expected. So I would just say, yeah, just keep patient. I would agree with Ian. Just keep patience and be okay with being single. Like, it's okay to be single. Like, yes, your friends might be getting married, but listen, God has something planned for you that they don't know, that you don't know. It's okay.
I'm about to hit y'all with a cool question that each one of us should ask ourselves. Is God enough for me, or do I need God and a girl? Like, that's...
Or do you need God and a guy?
Yes.
That's true. God is enough.
God is enough for you. No relationship, money, success will ever be enough for you.
That's true.
But when God is enough for you, that's when you'll appreciate the things He gives you most. But what was you saying, KB?
Nah, it's the truth. Like, I like that. Like, in the past, I've definitely caught myself in relationships where I've tried my best I've tried to force myself into a relationship. And, God will give you signs when when he wants you to know, like, this is not the relationship that you need to be in. Like, he will make it very blatant and very clear. And that's something that I feel like all of us should do, is just start asking God more direct questions instead of just being very broad about it.
Scared.
Like, yeah, God is a friend, and he wants a relationship with us. And with him wanting a relationship with us, he wants us to be talking to him like just like we'll be talking right here, like being very direct with him. Like, be like, okay, God, with this girl that I like, please show me whether or not she likes me or not. If it's really for you, God will make it very clear to you that, hey, this is the relationship that he wants you to be in.
Yes.
But if it's not, dog, you will get signs. And please do not ignore the red flags. Like, that's something that I've done in the past. And then, like, I've just been pushing, and I finally get the girl, and I find out, oh my goodness, I should have never ignored the red flags. Like, please do not ignore the red flags when they arise. Like, listen to God when he tells you no. Like, there's a reason for that. And if you feel as if you have to try way too hard to try to acquire this person,
You're chasing.
I'm not gonna lie, that's probably not the one. And it's sad to say, like, it doesn't matter if you feel like, oh my goodness, this person might be the person for me. Because in that video that we were talking about, the guy also talked about how God knows the future. God is omniscient, omnipotent, and all-knowing, right? And with him being all-knowing, he knows the future and the past, and he knows certain qualities about you that you're going to acquire and you're going to leave behind that you don't even know about. Like, there's certain qualities about you, like, okay, this guy, he gets angry very quickly. He needs a girl or a counterpart that's going to be very calm-minded and very cool-headed and know how to handle emotions like that and know how to keep them cool. But if you were to get with a hothead yourself, bro, y'all just gonna be smacking the crap out of each other at the house, bro. Y'all gonna be fist fighting, bro. So don't be so quick into a relationship, because you gotta understand, when God brings that right person into your life, this person is gonna be so well-rounded about, like, that they're gonna just match you. It won't be like it would just go together like that. Because okay, this person is very calm, but this person is very crazy and sporadic and has certain qualities about them that are kind of crazy. But this person is so calm that when she comes together with him, she's the only one that can calm him down. And you might see a certain quality about a girl or a guy, right, girls, and y'all gonna be like, okay, I like that quality, but man, you forgot to look at the whole thing. That video talked about, like, God knows the whole person. He doesn't just look at one side. God knows the whole person. So that's how it should be for us too. Don't just, okay, man, she is very pretty. Okay, what about her personality? Does she take showers? Like, how does she treat people? Like, God looks at the whole circle. He doesn't just look at one side of it. That's how we need to also look at it when we try to get in relationships. That's why it's so important to ask deep questions. Like, when you guys are interested in a person, in that friend stage, which in our society right now, people view the friend zone and being a friend to a female or to a male as something that is horrible and as something that's disgusting, and like, oh, bro, you're so lame, bro, you got friend zone. But you got to think about it like this: if you're interested in somebody, I would tell you, please start off in the friend zone. Like, please start off in the friend zone. Please don't just try to shoot a full court shot and try to make it.
That's not your shot.
That's not your shot, King.
Do you practice on that shot?
You do not practice on that shot, bro. Like,
do you practice on that shot?
Dog, start off in the friend zone, bro, and ask deep questions that you genuinely want to know. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, if we're being honest, you need to know the body count. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a band. Like, you got it. You're gonna, like, and this is for the people that are a bit older and grown up and more mature. Like, you're gonna have to find out whether or not the girl that you're interested in has been sleeping around. Questions like that. Like, okay, what is your view on God? Because I'm not gonna lie, if you get in a relationship with a girl that doesn't have the same viewpoints as you as far as religion, which I don't believe in religion, but I mean the same viewpoints as you in your relationship with Christ, it's gonna mess everything up in the future. You guys are gonna start arguing about whether or not your children should go to church, whether or not your children should believe in God, certain things like that. So please, when you're interested in a person, start off in that friend zone, and when you're in that friend zone, ask very deep and detailed questions questions that are going to help you get to know this person on a deeper level, other than, man, are you good at kissing? Who cares?
Yeah. No,
You know?
and I would also say, like, when you do ask those deep questions, like, just be careful, like, be wise, like, don't ask those questions and then judge that person like super harshly, because if you're gonna ask them something like have they ever drank before, like have they ever like slept with anybody before, and then it's kind of like, you know, like in like their younger days, like they used to be, like they didn't know God, and like they used to go party all the time, but they changed now. Like you can't hold them, like you can't judge them and hold them accountable for stuff that they did years ago because they didn't know God. Like, so also keep that in mind. Like they, like, I don't know, I would just say just keep that in mind, and like don't judge too hard. Yeah, because I feel like that's another thing, is like people will be like, oh no, you made this mistake like 5 years ago, so like you're clearly not the one that God wanted for me. Like, just be careful when you're asking those deep questions. I would say keep it personal, but also keep it godly. Keep them related to God, and I say that because if you're just asking, like, I feel like just before you even get in a relationship, you need to know where somebody's heart is with God.
Yes.
I feel like that's more important than, not saying that that's like necessarily just like way more important than getting to know the person, because obviously that's important, but also like I just feel like that's like such a key factor, like because you can get to know the person and really enjoy everything that they do and like get along with this person great, but if their heart's not right with God, then you're just wasting your time. And that's what it ends up becoming. It's just a waste of time. And like that's the biggest issue, because then you get into this cycle where you don't want to break up with them because you feel bad, but you still love them, and then like it's just a never-ending cycle that's gonna go on for months until one day one of you guys just end it, and then it's just gonna be more hurt. So that's why you gotta ask those deep questions and know where their heart is, and just get to know them before you guys start dating. And that's why it's such a good idea to be friends, even if you have to be friends for like 4 or 5 months, like even if you have to be friends for years before you start dating. Like, you know, like God may be preparing you for that relationship, but maybe he wants you to get to know them way better, or maybe they're not ready, but like God still wants you guys in a relationship. So
just zoom in a little bit.
so yeah, so just keep that in mind as you're getting in these relationships. But also, like, when you're going to these girls or you're going to these guys, don't go into, like, I don't know how I can preach this hard enough. Like, my friend Justin asked me this question the other day. He said, would you be okay with being their friend without liking them? And that's a deep question, because it's really like, would you be okay with still being their friend even if they were like, that I don't like you, or I never want a relationship with you, or like, if like, can you be their, even though it's going to be challenging sometimes, can you be their friend without letting your feelings get in the way of them? So I would say, and I would encourage, like, when you guys go talk to these people, like, talk to them as their friend and get to know them as their friend, and like try to keep your feelings aside, even if you think they're cute, or like, but don't just make that like your foundation. Like, make your foundation, like, one obviously is God, but two is like, I just want a cool friend, like you seem like a cool person that I can grow in Christ with and just be friends with. And then if God has other plans, then God has other plans, but don't just go into the relationship so focused on a relationship, because I can promise you 1,000%, if it doesn't work out, you're gonna be crushed and it's gonna suck and it's just gonna hurt. So my encouragement is to go into these as friends, go into these relationships as friends, and just keep that in mind, that like you're just there to be a friend, and just see where God takes it. Let God handle it. I would say.
I like that. Kind of piggyback off of what you were talking about, not judging. I think we should all be humble enough to know that we once did the same things. Like, I mean, it depends. You know what I'm saying? Different people smoke, different people drink, different people set their house, but it's all sin. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same in God's eyes. So we need to be humble enough to know that we also were once like that, and also show compassion when it's needed.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you really, like, even if it's an accident and like and somebody opens up to you, like, you got to think about that. Like, even if you're just asking them, like, you say you don't like them and you're just really just want to be their friend, and like you're asking them these deep personal questions, if you judge them, like, that might stop them from opening up to another person.
Yeah.
Or like that might scare them away from that. So yeah, so like and like really just listen. Like that's my advice, because I had to learn that the hard way. It's like you really just gotta listen. Like listening is one of the best things you can do, because like yes, obviously like it's cool to relate and it's cool to like talk back, but like if you're really listening to somebody like and just listening to them talk, like you'll get so much more out of it than you think.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like that. Also, like, it was a minute ago after you said it, but you were talking about, like, red flags and stuff like that. A good question that we should all ask is, like, what do they do when nobody's looking? And that's a question that God can answer. So with God knowing everything, He also, it's a hard thing, man. Like, if their heart is just completely, you know what I'm saying, darkened, but they're cute and stuff like that, but they might even be showing you that their heart is right. You know what I'm saying? They might be faking it until they make it. That's why it's so important to get wisdom from God and to go by His lead.
Yeah, and honestly, like, if they do fake it, and like, say like they faked it like all the way, somehow they faked it all the way till you guys got in a relationship, like, and then they start showing signs, like, I would sit down with them, like, have a talk, be like, listen, like, hey, we need to figure this out, like, you know, the Bible says this, and use the Bible. Please use the Bible. Don't just go spitting out facts, because then like that can turn on you so fast. So use the Bible, sit down with them, have a one-on-one, pull out Bible verses that say, hey, we should be doing this and that, but we're doing this ABC, and we should be doing ZBA, if you get what I'm saying. So and if they don't agree with that, then I mean the best thing to do is probably just end it. And that sounds harsh, that sounds like it sucks, because it does suck, but I mean sometimes that's what you got to do. Like there is no like, and you know, you can run around in these circles and say, well, no, they said that they're gonna work on it and I believe them, and like that's cool and all, but like it goes back to the wasting your time thing. Like you're just gonna eventually realize that you're wrong, that you're wasting your time. And I believe, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me, that people need to grow with God alone before they can grow with God in a relationship with somebody else.
That's true.
So if you're getting in a relationship with somebody who's an unbeliever or somebody who's very weak in their faith, like I'm not saying that it can't work, but I would just be very careful, because they need to grow with God alone before they can grow with God in a relationship. And also like when you guys are in a relationship, like grow, like do your separate Bible studies, like make sure you're having your alone time with God, because like if you get so focused on, oh, I'm only gonna, you know, do a Bible study if I'm with like my boyfriend or my girlfriend, like then it kind of gets to a point to who are you valuing more, God or your boyfriend or girlfriend? Who are you putting first at the end of the day? And yeah, I mean, it's just really like, it just really comes down to who are you putting first. And like I would also say like some people like will be like, oh, like I don't share, like I won't go to my boyfriend, like for example, like my ex-girlfriend that I used to have, like she would always tell me like, oh, I'm not showing you like my Bible notes, or like I'm not telling you what I prayed for, or stuff like that. And like for a while, like I used to be like, okay, like that's cool, but then like I came to realize like that's not cool, because like it's just not healthy. Like if we can't, like you should have your alone time with God, but also we're supposed to come together for the kingdom of God. And if we can't do that, if you can't communicate with me like what's going on in your life, like what sin are you struggling with, stuff like that, then how are we going to communicate that together to God?
In a relationship, like God is also supposed to be your best friend, but so is your partner.
Yeah.
So if y'all don't act like best friends, y'all not telling each other everything, or like y'all just don't click like that, then it might be something.
It might be something.
It might be something.
And I loved what you said, Marcus, when you said like, before anyone can grow together with somebody in a relationship, they must first grow with God alone. Like that's the sole importance of the single season.
Yes.
Like that's something that I've been struggling with, like the single season, being single, you know. And before you can get in a relationship, you must first learn how to be single first. Yes. And in that single season, that's when God molds you into the perfect companion and perfect person for that other person. And you can't rush the single season. Like it's when you rush the single season that people end up in certain relationships that they were never supposed to be in, end up with kids that they weren't supposed to have till they're later in life, just certain things like that. So in that single season, truly grow closer to Christ and don't rush it, you know. That's something that we all might struggle with, like trying to rush it, trying to get in relationships, but just don't rush it. Like just wait it out, like for real
100%.
But with us just giving them so much game on, relationships with boyfriend, girlfriend, or wife and husband, let's give them a few more things, and then let's hop over to relationships as far as friendship, because we're at 34 minutes on this one, and then we got to remember that we only got, I think that's what 20 minutes left on that. So we don't got that much left on the camera storage. So if you guys are watching this video, just know that we're almost about to run out of storage. So make sure you like and subscribe. But so
Part
boom.
2 if you want more on relationships.
Yes, if you guys if you guys want more listening episodes on this
Relationship
topic,
goals.
let us know in the comments. But boom, so let's go on to a few more things. So what do you guys have any more game as far as?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Paul said this, but I know for a fact it's in Hebrews, but it's like later in the book. It says, don't let go of anything that's holding you back spiritually. And it's like, yeah, we're called to be like Christ, forgive, be loving and compassion, but if someone's actually like a genuine burden on you and like literally holding you back, like think of it as like a race, but you got weight on your shoulders, but you trying to run as fast as possible, and you trying to get, you're trying to win, but you got weight on your shoulders.
Yep.
The person that doesn't have weight, they're gonna win. You got to take off that weight.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with relationships. If that person isn't, you'll know if it's for you. That's all I gotta say.
Nah, you definitely will.
You'll know if it's for you. And if you having doubts and questions and stuff like that,
then it's probably not for you.
God will speak through that type of stuff. But most importantly, just talk to God about it, bro.
Yeah,
He'll clear the way.
And honestly, when it comes to relationships, I feel like everybody just needs to remember, we're running a marathon, not a race. Ian, you always say this one thing to me and KB when we're always apply pressure. You're always
100 miles in a 30 mile speed limit.
Yeah, you're always you guys are trying to go 100 miles in a 30 mile per hour speed limit. And for for a couple of weeks, I was bro, you're so lame. Just talk to the girl. Go ask her for her Instagram or stuff. But I from personal experience, I'm saying I've realized that's not the way to go.
God about to tell you to get off the road. Get off the road.
Yes, because
get off the road.
You do it too early and you apply too much pressure, and then it's kind of dang, I'm messing up probably not only God's plan, but also I could be scaring somebody away that God could potentially have for me, because I'm applying too much pressure, and they might be all right, dude, this dude's weird. Not saying God can't fix it, but it's just kind of just be careful. Don't rush. And that's I feel that's the whole moral of this, is just have patience and don't rush it. You're at a marathon, not a race.
Keep God centered.
Yeah, keep God centered and just stay focused. Just
Before
stay focused
you hop
on God.
in a relationship,
And
make sure you're prepared.
And that's true. And what's crazy is God might not have that intended person for you ready until you're probably 30. And that's completely okay.
That's okay.
And that's okay. And it's going to take a while. And there's going to be a lot of people that are getting married ahead of time before you. And all these things are just going on around you. Just wait. Just wait on God. Just be still and know that I'm God. I know that's one of my favorite Psalms. Just be still and know that I'm God.
That's 46, right?
Yeah, I think
That's
so. It just relates to
That's
every
so tough.
situation. Even in the situation as far as relationships, just be still and know that I'm God. He's working
So
even when we
tough.
don't realize it. So as far as relationships that go into the category of just man and woman, just be still and know that he is God. The perfect person for you is coming. Please relax. Don't try to rush the process or any of that. So just wait on God.
Yeah, there's so in the guy's house here at camp, I wrote down this thing on the board. I wrote verse of the week, and the verse of this week is kind of funny that it relates to this kind of wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. And I think that's Psalm 27 verse 14. I think that's important because just wait on God's timing, and it can be frustrating. It can suck sometimes, but He has things planned for you that you don't know about, and
Hit him
that
with the Jeremiah 29.
yes, He has plans to prosper us, and just has things greater for us than we could ever imagine. So just be patient, and yes, and I'm speaking from experience. It sucks. I'm not a patient person. I like to know what we're doing next. I don't like to chill. I like to go and do stuff. I like to be out all the time and hang out with friends and just hang out. But I've had to learn this season. God called me down to this camp. One of the biggest things was that way I could learn to be patient and just wait on him. And I think that's, if I could like encourage anything, it's just to be patient, wait on the Lord.
That's
Yeah.
good. I like that.
How about this? Like, how about this? We make this episode solely about relationships,
And then we do another one.
and then we do another one that's going to be relationships as far as friends, because we've been
Yes,
giving
I'm
you guys.
excited to do that.
Yeah, so because we're already at 40 minutes for the podcast, and I feel like we've given you guys enough game for today. But on this
How to
channel,
stay in the friend zone.
yes,
Like,
literally, that's gonna probably be the name of this episode is the importance of being in the friend zone.
Yes, sir.
All right, and
yes,
if
sir.
y'all been sleeping on like this whole episode, let's just like all think of ideas of like kind of what we got.
Yes. So
Keep God in the center.
Wait.
type it.
Before you give it to him, Ian, because listen, hear me out.
please.
So what we usually do on this channel is at the end, I always have my guests, right?
Yes.
Just give the people what is called a to-go plate. Pretty much
Yes.
a big chunk of game that you guys want to leave them with for this episode for what we just talked about.
Like
So
that.
who wants to go
Marcus
first?
can go first. I mean, we probably gonna say the same stuff, low key.
Yeah, no, and just before I do the to-go plate, for anybody who is watching this, first off, like, obviously like and comment, but comment if you guys do want another episode, and
Yes.
if you guys want us in another episode, because
Yes, sir.
we would love to hear your feedback. But also, if you're watching this and like you go to like Morningstar, or you are at the camp, and like you got something out this episode, like let us know.
Nah, I'm just playing.
These just name drop the church that we go to.
Hey, but I mean, no, I mean, it's a good church.
Shout out to
I mean,
Morningstar.
if you
Shout
go
out
to-
to
if you-
Morningstar.
if you
Shout out
go
to Caleb.
Shout out to Caleb.
If you go to if you see me like Marcus, Eain, or like KB in public, and you got something from this episode, then let us know, so we know, like.
Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to
Shout out
Jeff.
to Jeff. Head
Shout out to
cook at
Jeff.
Shout out to
Chautauqua.
Jeff.
Really gold.
But yeah, just let us know, like, because we would appreciate that.
Alright, Jeff.
That like we helped you, and if we can pray for you about anything, like, let us know that too, because we would love to do that. But my to-go plate that I'm cooking up, like, if you ever been to public school, sorry for all the homeschool
Let me get some
people,
BBQ sauce on that.
but like, if you ever been to public school, you know the little myplate.gov thing that's on all the,
I know
on all
that
the
shit.
cafeterias.
Yes.
On all the
Gotta
cafeterias.
keep the veggies
So,
and all that in there.
For the meat section, it's gonna be to keep God first. The protein, keep God first.
Keep God first.
For the veggie section, it's gonna be wise and be patient. Be wise and be patient. Who you're talking to, who you're being friends with, and who you think you're gonna get into a relationship with.
Yep.
And then for the little dessert section,
Dessert.
it's get to know somebody. Like, go talk to people. Go be their friend. Like, get out there. Like, speak to people. Like, yes, I know for people who are gonna say like, oh, I'm antisocial, or oh, I don't like to just walk up and talk. Do it. Just do it. Like, what
talk
do you
to 'em.
like? Just be
talk
a
to 'em.
friend. Like, you could really save somebody that like you have no idea that you're saving, maybe, or you could be that person that somebody needed that day. So talk to people. My key advice would be keep God first, be patient, be humble, and be honest and transparent.
Hey, I want a side of fries too, though.
You want a side
I want
of
a side of
fries?
fries
You
too,
want a side of
though.
fries?
I want a side of-
Wait, Marcus, move more this way so they can see you. You guys
Yeah.
are like low-key right
Dang,
next to
worry.
each other.
It's cool. Yeah, I want a side of
You-
fries,
You
though.
want a side of fries?
With a packet
Okay.
ketchup.
Go
Wait,
ahead, Ian.
packet ketchup.
Give him.
With
Give
a
it to him.
packet of ketchup. No, you not just
Okay.
hear that?
Get-
I want a side of fries.
You want a side of
Type
fries?
beat.
Go ahead, give him a side of fries.
Okay, a little side of fries. My little side of fries advice would be
That's the fly.
my little side of fries would be to quit swatting at the fly this whole podcast.
Yes, sir. Hey, shout out to the fly.
My little side of fries would be to just really like be okay with being single.
Yes.
Be okay with being single. Keep God first. Be okay with being single. Be honest, open, and transparent. And
Hot.
yeah, hot. Be hot. Be fly making another comeback. Be hot. And just really, please, just really like value the friendship, and just keep your eyes, like, I wish I could like tape people's eyes shut when it comes to like, oh, like, I'm only being this girl's friend or this guy's friend because he's cute, and like it could potentially be a relationship. Like, I feel like that's the first thing that we think in our head when we see like a cute girl or guy. But no, value the friendship, value the person for who they are, and for the relationship that they have with God. And if it's meant to be, God will let it be. Drill that into your guys' heads. If it's meant to be, God will let it be. Don't get jealous if they're over there talking to somebody else at the church event, because if it's meant to be, God will let it be. Don't get jealous if like you're leaving the pool party parking lot and they're talking to somebody else, because if it's meant to be, God will let it be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Know what I'm saying? If they leave you on delivery for 3 days, hey, God will let it be. God will let it be. Hey, if they leave it, if you ask to hang out and they say I can't because I gotta go run errands, God will let.
Yes, yo.
Hey, listen.
Yup.
Please don't.
If they if they're going back to a college, that you don't go to, you know what I'm saying?
Long distance.
Long distance. God will let it be.
Like,
God
let
will
it
let
be.
it
Let
work.
it be.
Let it be. If it's meant to be, God will let it be. I
It'll
don't
work.
know how
Good
much
game,
I can
good
preach
game.
that.
All right,
Yes,
Ian,
yes,
give
sir,
him a
yes,
to-go
sir,
plate.
yes,
Give him a
sir.
to-go,
To-go
a
plate.
quick to-go plate, because you only got 3 minutes left.
Oh,
on
3
that
minutes,
one.
3 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, I'm gonna cook. I gotta put this mug on 500 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Keep God in the center.
Yep.
Be prepared before you do hop in a relationship. Have discipline,
Mm-hmm.
especially reading your Bible. If you're not disciplined and getting in the Word and praying and all of that before you hop in a relationship, you will totally get sidetracked on the girl or boy. Third, pure in holiness. Be like God. If you're not like God, if you're not like Christ, then the relationship won't make you. You know what I'm saying? God has to. Like, that's the important thing about single season. God has to isolate you, and you have to get right with God in order. You know what I'm saying? For all of that stuff. Fourth, be their friend. Be their friend. Marcus already said that, but be their friend. If you go up to them in the mall, hey, you're cute. You start dating after like a week. Those never go.
Yeah, that's not gonna be the one that you want.
Never.
Because you got to think about the next guy that runs into her and does that, and
Yes.
she does that to him.
Yes.
And yeah. So.
I really like that. I think I'm missing something though.
But I want like some, extra
Extra-
yum yum sauce.
extra
you know what I'm
yum
saying?
Can you give us some
Extra wisdom.
dessert?
Oh,
Yes,
some dessert.
Yes, sir.
Some dessert. Sheesh. Marcus had a really good dessert. I gotta think of like a even better one. Marcus had like
See,
a,
and this is when we
Marcus
bring out,
had
like the humbleness, like
He had,
you don't gotta be somebody.
no.
You don't gotta be somebody.
You gave him the brownie. I gotta give him like the ice cream. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
But hang on 1 second. While you thinking, like,
Yes.
that also brought me to something like, quit comparing yourself to other
Yes.
guys and girls.
Yes.
If you see a girl and you're like, oh, dang, like, if you're a girl and you see another girl and you're like, oh, like, they're more attracted than me, like, he's gonna be attracted to her. Or like,
Yes.
for me, like, if I see a guy and he just looks better, or like
He's a handsome man.
he's a handsome man, or like he's like doing something better than me, like, don't compare yourself, because you're digging a hole that you're never gonna get out of, and it's not gonna help you at the end. So just quit comparing yourself to other people. Like, you're you, be you, love you, and God will send somebody that loves you for who you are.
I think that was a lot, but one of the biggest things is, especially in a relationship, are you ready for marriage? You gotta ask that question and all that stuff. But some really important things: humility and love. Because when you're in a relationship, you're gonna find yourself where you have to love at times where you just want to shut the door and be by yourself, or you might get annoyed and stuff like that. But a relationship and going into marriage, it's a commitment. You know what I'm saying? It's a commitment. So, you know what I'm saying? If you can't pour out love, if you're not filling your cup with the right things, you know what I'm saying, then there's a problem.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we really covered a lot. I'm trying
Hey, I got a to-go plate myself.
What's that to-go
I got mine isn't as big as y'all's. I got just a little mini dump cake, little ice cream cake. You know what I mean? So something quick.
Yes.
I would just say the biggest thing is, like, just to take away from all of y'all, is just like, first, just be genuine. Be genuine.
authentic, yes.
Be authentic.
Yeah.
When you're talking to these people that you might be interested in, don't try to make a little dream in your head that, okay, this is how it's going to be in the future when I get with this person, just because this person's nice to you or this person is compassionate.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely be their friend.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
and the biggest thing is just, if you do get in a relationship with anybody, from the beginning, God has to be the foundation, and that has to be the foundation that you guys run to no matter what.
Yeah.
So, other than that, guys, just remember, be still and know that God is gonna bring the right person to you at the right time. So don't rush anything. And just because all your friends around you or other people around you are getting engaged or married doesn't mean that you have to as well. God is gonna make it to where your timing is gonna be a little bit different, but you will be happy in the end. But other than that, we appreciate you guys. Go ahead. What you got?
in a relationship and before the relationship and after, honor God.
Yes, you
Honor
gotta
God.
keep.
Make sure every little work, everything you do, you gotta have integrity. You gotta have so much attributes. But yes, honor God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's it.
But other than that, we appreciate you guys for watching today's
Sir.
episode, man. Y'all make sure y'all like. Y'all make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all like. Share this video with a couple of your friends. And other than that, we'll see you guys in part 2.